10 people could be in front of you, 9 people can say, oh my goodness, you're amazing, you're awesome, you're so good at this, you should do this more. But if one person says, I'm not sure, are you going to listen to the one, even though there was 9 that said you were amazing? Hey, it's Kim Calvert here again, and I've got a great video for you today teaching you how to actually take back some of your time and your energy. Now, there's a quote that I heard the other day, and it says, small minds talk about people, average minds talk about events, and the great minds talk about ideas. Now, the question is, which category are you in? Or even the people that you hang around with most of the time, what category are they in? Now, it's important to identify this if you're looking to really focus, if you're looking to really achieve great success and your goals this year. You've got to now start to use your energy in a much more efficient and effective way. And actually, it means talking less, okay? You know, there's so much chatter out there in the masses. There's a lot of, even when you just hang out with people, or you're in a restaurant, or you're walking on the beach, or wherever it may be, if you're around people, I want you this week to just listen, okay? This is a little test. And I want you to listen. What is the general topic of conversation? Are the people that are surrounding you talking about other people? Are they talking about events? Or are they talking about goals and big ideas? Well, it's really important that you kind of do this little bit of analyzing in your environment, because ultimately that's creating an atmosphere, which is actually impacting your mental state. And I know, and I can definitely say, when I was, in a job, when you went to the staff room, there's magazines laid out, people are usually talking about other people. I'm going to be honest, that is what happened. I got involved in those conversations, or different things, what's happening at the weekend, or where are you going on holidays. And I'm not saying that you want to become this boring person that doesn't communicate with people, certainly not. But it's not healthy to be in that environment all the time. And I'll tell you why. It's not that your friends or the people, your work colleagues, are bad people. They're not. They just possibly are unaware and don't know what they don't know. But really, you've got to realize that if you're engaging in these conversations all of the time, you're not probably going to be moving in a direction of growth. You're probably just kind of doing the same thing all of the time, and that's limiting you. So really think to yourself today, how can I start to change this? First, you've got to notice. So what I would say to you today is, over the next week, just start to notice, whether you're in the shopping center, in work, at home, what can you hear? Because you've got to understand, you're picking up with your senses information every day. Lots of information is coming at you. Social media, online, what you're hearing, what you're seeing, the news. And all of this information is being thrown or bombarded at you, and you're only able to take in a little bit of it. Now, here's the thing, and I like to explain things really super simple. Let's just say there's all this information. Well, you're only going to take on a partial amount, but the question is, which parts do you take on? And the truth is, there's a part within you it's called your paradigm, and it's going to gravitate to the ideas, the conversations, the topics that you are entertaining the most. So here's an example. Let's say you have a constant thought in your mind that you're not good enough, or any given subject. Well, I guarantee you're going to pick up in your environment proof, even though it's not real, but you're going to pick up proof that you're not good enough. 10 people could be in front of you, 9 people can say, oh my goodness, you're amazing, you're awesome, you're so good at this, you should do this more. But if one person says, I'm not sure, are you going to listen to the one, even though there was 9 that said you were amazing? We see that's what's happening. Your senses, okay, sight, hearing, taste, touch, smell, is it's like little feelers out into the world every day. But you're only going to pick up, you're only going to magnetize whatever is the dominant belief and habitual thoughts that you have. So for an example, if you've got beliefs or you've got habits around, maybe you have a habit of procrastinating, well, you're going to find the shortcut. Okay, that was me. I was always the person that was like, okay, what's the easiest way to get around this, right? Now, actually, that's kind of served me because now I've actually found the most effortless, simplest route to success. But it's not by being lazy. It's by being focused. It's about listening to information that serves me and is pushing me and pulling me to my goal. Now, again, as I say, you don't have to become boring. You just might want to start to change the conversation. So the first thing I said is you want to notice. What is the information you're, susceptible to every day? Secondly, now you want to ask yourself, what am I going to do about this? Because let's just say, for an example, you start to listen and you're sitting in the staff room, you're sitting in the living room, and people are talking, and they're maybe just talking about day-to-day stuff or talking about people. I don't want you to suddenly go, shut up, okay? Because that would be a bit rude. But what I want you to ask yourself is there any conversations that I'm in, or is there anything that I'm listening to or reading or studying that is actually nourishing me, my potential? And if there's not, then you're going to want to start to cultivate this in your environment. Now, one really great way to do this, especially with friends or family that you might have, is when they're talking, okay, I want you, in not a rude way, but in a way that you just change the subject. Okay, this is one little tip that I always teach my clients, and it's one that I've used many times. And let's say if somebody comes home from work, and I know this happens. They come home from work and they're telling you all the stuff that happened in the office today. The drama, right? The gossip. And all I want you to do is actually ask them, what was good about that? Because most people are talking negative, let's be honest. And if somebody comes home and they're talking about something negative, I want you to go, okay, I hear you, yeah. But what was good about that? Like, what can we find in that? Now, you may feel a wee bit weird doing that. If you do, then my advice is try to change the subject. And then notice how long it takes for them to come right back onto the same subject. I used to do this all the time with people. It was so much fun. I used to be kind of like, okay, 1, 2, and they're back on the subject again. Okay? Now, I don't want you to stand and look at your clock, but I do want you to test this. And if you're in this conversation and you keep changing the subject and they keep bringing it back, I want you to do it at least 4 or 5 times. And what you'll see is they'll actually start to gravitate to what you're talking about. And this is where you can start to gain back control. In fact, this is a great way to serve the people that you love and care about, because they don't really mean to talk about other people. They don't really mean to just kind of go around in these monotonous conversations. It's because nobody's ever really brought up a goal or a big idea or something that is growth orientated. So that could be you. You could actually be the disruptor in your business, in your home, in your life. And it's so simple. You've just got to be more focused and aware. Now, why is this important? And why do you want to eliminate the noise? Well, it's sucking your energy. When you wake up in the morning, I always think of yourself as like a battery. And you're fully charged if you've got a good night's sleep. And you want to attack your activities in the morning. You want to get wins in straight out the gate, because that's actually going to release some serotonin in your bloodstream. It's going to give you the happy hormones, and you're going to have that, oh, I did it. That's a feel-good factor. If you can get that first thing in the morning, that's going to take you throughout the day, okay? If you eliminate the chatter of the masses, then you're not being distracted. You're goal-orientated. You keep your eye on the objective, and the obstacles give way. So these are just a few tips that I want you to take today, and just notice what's going on around you. Switch off the TV and the news. That's my biggest advice. Start to assess your peer group, your network. And as I say, it does not mean giving up people, but why not step up? for them, for you. Start to really change the dynamics, change the conversation. Start to ask people, what's your goal? What do you want to achieve this year? I've been thinking about this idea. Because you need people in your life like that. You need people in your life at every level. Like, I'm a high performance mentor, but see, when I go and hang out with my peers and my mastermind and my circle of influence, I want to be the person in the room that is at the lowest. Because if I have got nobody pulling me to be greater, then I'm going to stay capped. So even as a mentor, I can't just be, helping all of you guys. I have got to be helped. And this is how it works. And we can all work together and raise the consciousness and really create some incredible results. So notice what's around you, take action around that, change the subject, and just notice how you're actually able to now dominate that conversation, which is leading them somewhere else. And then ask yourself, what big ideas do I want to start thinking about? What big ideas would I love to be talking about? And maybe it might take that you have to now look for other networks. When I started in this industry, none of my friends talked about goals, right? At all. But I didn't want to lose my friends. I still have the same friends today as I did way back then. Some I don't, okay? That will happen. Some people will just vibe right out. One of the common questions I get from my clients is, Kim, how do you get rid of negative people? And my answer is, don't give it energy. Don't give it focus. Focus on what you want. Focus on attracting the high quality mastermind or people around you that are in harmony with your goals. And you know what will happen? The people that were negative, the people that maybe just weren't serving you, I call it they vibe out. Because what happens is they just kind of drift out of your life. And that's okay. Sometimes you'll want to have conversations and make decisions on that. Sometimes that's just life. Like, I don't know anybody that I went to primary school with. It's just people grow apart. But when we get to a certain age in our adult life, you're around the same people all the time. You work in the same place, you've family members. And it's not the same transition that you move away from people physically or geographically. So it is your responsibility to really nurture your environment and help grow other people. And I know that if you start to do this for others, it's going to fill your cup. You're going to feel awesome. You're going to get more energy. And by cleaning this up and getting away from the chatter of the masses, it's going to give you more energy. So that little battery is going to stay full for a longer period of time. But if you keep listening, if you keep watching things that are not in harmony, your energy levels are going down. So this is your opportunity today to take this advice, implement it this week, and then see the changes that are going to happen before you. I guarantee you, if you start to change the subject, start to focus on something positive, you're going to have such a compound effect on your life, your family's life, your colleagues' life, and that's what life's about. It's about helping other people. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Check out other videos that we have, and we'll be back with more. Talk soon.